And now reviewing LGU Theatre Part 4. Is it Part 4? I've lost count. MuteRGG's Shotgun Theater. Now, these guys, I believe, were the second to post something or to make a submission, and they were also the second rejected. Their first video was 5 minutes long, and it was technically well done, but it was 5 minutes long, and nobody died until 4 minutes and 30 seconds into it. And like I said, it's internet. You got to get us quick. And so they redid it. And I don't know, maybe I was too harsh on them. Because after watching this and rewatching this, once again, they're overusing the Dolly cam system. And it feels rushed to me, especially because I'm fairly certain that when I rejected their first video and said, you know, you need to redo it, you need to put more action, they sent this one in like the next day. And just looking at this, it's just like, again, one long take. And again, this is very subjective on my part, me not liking this. Is like, I mean, there's a lot of good scenes here, some decent movements, but one thing I can't stand is the quick pan from like front to back, like that. I just don't like that. It's just, I mean, to me, it just doesn't feel right. And until you can do better getting those kind of shots, I don't think the Dolly cam system is going to be utilized to its fullest. And again, to do the kind of perfect shots that I'm thinking of, that I'm seeing in my mind's eye, it's going to take a lot of work, a lot of trial and error. It's just going to be brutal. Although overall, I mean, this is definitely some nice action. So I definitely do appreciate that. And there was some nice deaths. I mean, you saw a nice triple. Foreign is using a Kimbo, you know, HS10s, whatever they're called. So from an action perspective, this was definitely much better than his first version. But like I said, personally, I'm just not a big fan of the overuse of the Dolly system. Now, some people had asked for a Dolly cam tutorial video, and I've already made one on my old channel. And I'll just tack it on to the end of this. So if you've already seen it, you can just click off now. Until next time, thanks for watching. Yes, if you're already not sick enough of seeing my epic 5-man spray here, let's watch it with the new Dolly cam system. And yes, you notice there's no cameras, and you can see the people's names and ranks above them. So how do we do this? First off, forgive the crudity of the pans. I did it really fast, just to test it out. Also, the speed changes were deliberate to show you that you can change speeds between camera and camera. Now I'm going to start this off as a basic walkthrough, and so if you've already seen my earlier video where I'd show you how to do this, fast forward to the time code I'll display in an annotation. Okay, first off, toggle the left stick down to bring up the menu, and then hit YY to toggle third person then free camera mode. Once you're in free camera mode, right bumper until it says edit camera mode. Once you're in edit camera mode, wherever you click down on the right stick is where the camera will be placed. Then click A to move the game forward a little bit, and then put a camera where you want it again. And just keep doing that over and over again. Pushing A to move the camera forward a little bit, or holding the trigger to slowly move the camera forward a little bit. And then right stick wherever you want the camera. You can only put one camera at a time within each second or second and a half, whatever. And if you put the camera too close together, that yellow circle will appear. And you won't be able to put another camera down. You'll go into edit camera position. I'll show you what that's like in a sec. Now, if you want to change the speed or delete one of the cameras, highlight it like that, and then right stick in. That'll give you the edit camera position. And when you're in that menu, you can either delete that camera, delete all cameras, or change the speed from which the game plays from one camera to the next. So if you start off at normal speeds, then you click in like this, you can change the speed from fixed, linear, manual. I have no idea what linear means. I've only just begun playing with this. But fixed, you can change it down in 2-point increments from 1, as you can see, 1, 6, 4, or 1. If you want to go the speed back up, it'll only go in 2-point increments. It'll go from 1 to 0.3 to 0.5 to 0.9, etc., etc. So then once you've placed all the cameras where you want them and you got the time frame more or less where you want it. Replay it, right bumper again until it says Dolly camera, and then play the scene again, and hit X to record. It'll then record it in the game, and when you play it back, it'll take out the cameras. As long as you do one thing, and that one thing is save the clip in your file share. Now, I have never saved the clip in my file share until today. Since I have a capture card, I've always just captured live, and only saved full games in my file share. And so that's the problem with this, is you'll have to have a free slot in your file share. So if you're like me and you have all your slots used up, that means you have to sacrifice one of your free slots. So in reality, you only have 5 slots available. But I guess the trade-off is the trade-off. And yeah, they're probably not going to change this, since that's probably what they intended you to do to begin with. If only we had more than 6 file save slots. Okay, now here's how to save it. Once you've recorded the clip, it'll give you, keep segment, name it. I just named it, whatever. It gives you different choices, or you can put a custom name. And then once you're ready to go out, click End Film, and then it'll bring up a menu that says, do you want to save the clip? Click Yes. And then put it into an empty file share slot. Then go back to the main theater menu, and click your file share, and then click on that clip. Now if you notice, the clip doesn't have the reel, it just has the film clip. And then when you play back that clip, it'll play back without those camera tracking annotations, without the cameras in the shot. It'll be a perfectly rendered clip that you can then capture live. And you'll have the character names and ranks above you, and you'll be able to see the scroll, and everything will be just like an in-game clip. Now, if you want to disable the scroll and the HUD and not see any names for a machinima piece, then make sure to disable the HUD before you start recording. Otherwise, the character names and the scroll will still be visible. So if you don't want those visible, you need to disable it before you start recording. Because once it's recorded, you can't disable it again. But now, folks, this Dolly system is now epic. We now have virtually precise computer-controlled tracking shots. Let's make some epicness. This is CR, signing out.